Hey everybody, Dr. Keith here. In my last video, I offered you some thoughts and opinions and hopefully a different perspective regarding this coronavirus and helping to calm down some of that fear and anxiety regarding the situation that we are in. So I wanted to follow that video up with this video and helping you guys to understand what you can do to naturally strengthen and support your immune system so that even if you do become exposed or infected with the coronavirus, that your body and your immune system is strong enough to handle it very easily. So let's kind of get into the nuts and bolts of this and look at this from the body's perspective. So when we are in a state of fear or uncertainty and worrying, then we are in that sympathetic dominance mode. We're in that fight or flight mode. So whether this is imagined or whether this is real, that sympathetic dominance mode is that it's there to protect us. So if a bear walks through that door, you got to stand here and either fight it or you got to run away. But that sympathetic mode is only supposed to be transient and temporary. We're not supposed to get stuck there. So what happens is that when we get stuck into that sympathetic dominance mode, the adrenal glands also secrete cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which long periods of that in our bloodstream actually suppresses our immune system and can make you more susceptible to getting the infection to begin with. So I want to go over some things right now to help you guys understand from the body's perspective of what you can do to naturally strengthen and boost your immune system. Because you have to remember, every single cell in our entire body has this innate intelligence and is programmed for well-being. So let's use that to our advantage. Let's gain trust and faith back into the human body and what it can do so that even if you are exposed, it can very easily handle this. Because as you can see on the reports and stuff, over half of the people and so many people are actually recovering fully from being infected with the coronavirus, which is a good thing. So let's kind of get started here. So the very first thing is that the virus gets transmitted, or you can be infected through touching your hands, inhaling it, touching your face, things like that. So the very first thing that you can do, or a couple of things that you can do to be very proactive in not getting the infection is obviously number one is wash your hands very thoroughly. Like talk about 20 minutes. Make sure you're getting in the nail beds and things, getting the wrists, using warm and soapy water. Don't touch your face that often, okay? But more importantly, gargle with salt water. There was a study done by Harvard Medical School, and that just getting regular ionized salt, you don't need to get any special kind of salt. You want to use warm water and you gargle 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And by doing this 3 times a day, what this study showed is it decreased any upper respiratory infections by 60%. So if you really want to be proactive until this thing blows over, washing your hands, minimize touching your face, and gargling with salt water 3 times a day will be the best thing for you. The second thing is rest. I talked about fear and that anxiety. When we're in that fight or flight mode, our body can't heal because we have the opposite of that fight or flight mode is the rest, digest, recuperate, and heal mode. So resting means getting adequate amounts of sleep at night. But it's not just simply that. It's also sitting there playing games, connecting with your family, watching TV, doing other activities that kind of takes your mind off of this chaos that seems to be going on right now. So rest just doesn't necessarily mean sleep. The big thing is the nutrition, right? The coronavirus, it comes from Mother Nature. Well, Mother Nature also provides us with ample fruits and vegetables that have all the right nutrition in there for us to be able to handle it. So let's battle nature with nature. So when we're talking about good nutrition, right, what do viruses love? They love sugar. Because when we eat lots of sugar, and when I mean sugar, let me quantify this. We're talking about, your simple processed sugars, your breads, your pastas, things like that. It's not just candy and sugar, but it's any kind of processed or refined carbohydrate is what I mean by sugar. So when we eat sugar, it actually slows and weakens our immune system. So by minimizing, I'm not saying avoid it completely, but minimizing your intake of simple carbohydrates will actually help to then strengthen your immune system. Getting lots of fruits and vegetables. What does the coronavirus love? It loves to attack the lungs. The lungs are one of the weak spots for it because it's the first line of exposure when we're breathing it in. So we have known that high doses of vitamin A actually help to heal and repair the epithelial lining in your lungs. So I'm not saying about supplementing with vitamin A. I'm talking about eating the foods that Mother Nature provides for us. What is high in vitamin A? Well, beef liver, if you like liver, cod liver oil, both of those things are very high in vitamin A, but also it's abundant in lots of fruits and vegetables. Your leafy greens, spinach, kale, parsley, Swiss chard, right? Sweet potatoes, carrots, red bell peppers, all of those things are very high in vitamin A. But there also is lots of vitamin C in there as well. So vitamin A and vitamin C are really necessary to help your immune system to become very strong. What are also foods that are good for immune boosting? Garlic, onions, ginger. If you enjoy ginger, cutting up the ginger, and again, getting back to the whole food. We're not talking about going and getting a supplement. Whole food is where it's at. So getting some ginger root, and if you enjoy the taste of that, you can just cut off a little bit of that and just eat it, chew it up and swallow it, or you can make a tea out of it. You can, boil some, make some hot green tea, and you can dice up some ginger and put some ginger in there, and you can make a ginger tea out of it. Garlic is also a great whole food antibiotic. It has antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal properties. So, and again, it's the food, the whole food. When you cook it, it loses a lot of its medicinal potency. So it has to be raw garlic. So there's several ways that you can actually get this into your system. Number one is that if you have a strong stomach, you can get a clove and you can chop it up and put it on a spoon, put it in your mouth, chew it, and then swallow it and chase it with a bunch of water. Warning, if you do it that way, it will burn. So make sure you drink lots of water with it. Or if you feel that your stomach can't handle it that way, then just cut up a clove of garlic, sprinkle it on your food, and then you can eat it that way, and it will dilute some of the potency of it that way with the food. Another way to get it into your system, get a garlic press. Press a clove onto a plate, get your fingers and get the oil and the juice, and then rub it on the bottoms of your feet. It will get into your system that way. So garlic is a very great immunostimulator, and it has lots of properties to help with the immune system and keeping that nice and strong. Okay, and onions are just really high in vitamin C and selenium and sulfur, which is also really good for the immune system. Hydration, keeping fluids, keeping it moving, keeping your lymphatic system clean, drinking lots of water and stuff to help move things throughout your system can help flush it as well. So keeping hydrated. Exercise, getting out and moving the body, right? Sweating. Again, great for the lymphatic system, good for keeping things moving in the blood system and circulation. Chiropractic care. Now, chiropractic care, there are lots of studies and research that are coming out that are saying how getting a chiropractic adjustment can help your immune system work more efficiently, because what they're finding is that your immune system is controlled and connected to your nervous system. So if you have subluxations in your spine, it can also contribute to that sympathetic dominance that I was talking about earlier, which can then ultimately weaken your immune system. So there are studies coming out that are showing that by simply getting a spinal adjustment, that it can boost secretory IgA by 139%. It increases macrophages activity and other white blood cells as well. So getting adjusted helps keep your stress off of the nervous system. It helps to balance out the autonomic nervous system. And by doing those two things, it allows your immune system to function better and more efficiently. And then the last thing is getting the right supplements too. Up here in Illinois, we don't have much sun in the wintertime, so a lot of us become vitamin D deficient. So simply taking a vitamin D supplement can also really help to boost our immune system and to keep it strong. I'm an internal health chiropractor, so I do a lot of enzyme nutrition and supplementation. So enzymes are also a great way to help keep your immune system strong and put more workers in there to fight off whatever you have. And then lastly, essential oils. You know, there are things that you can do. So even if you do become infected or you have starting to develop some symptoms with either a tickle in your throat or in the lungs, you can do things like getting eucalyptus, sage, rosemary, clove. And what you can do is get a pot of water and boil it, then remove it from the heat, put about 15 or 20 drops of each of those oils in there, put a towel over your head, put it over there, and then breathe deeply and get it into your lungs that way. This way you can have direct contact with that and can help to deal with the symptoms of that. Now, all of these suggestions that I'm offering you is something that you can do to be proactive with this. Now, if you become infected or have symptoms and you need proper medical treatment, please, by all means, go and see your doctor about it. I'm not saying that this is in replace of that, but it can work in conjunction. But if you are healthy to begin with and you really want to fortify your immune system, this is going to be the best way for that. Okay? So I hope this is helpful in helping you guys to understand this. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help you. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Keith.